Another dream of mine, too, is to be a real animation channel. Like, alright, I made my first character in 1992. His name was Curly. I based him off of my dog. I gave him a brother named Lassie. Also inspired by a dog, obviously. And I made the brother taller than him, which was inspired by Luigi, because Super Mario Bros. Was my first and favorite game. And thus, my first two OCs were created in the universe that I called Super Curly and Friends, which was the name of my series. Everything you see on this channel came from that series. Plum, Deville, Kay, Malley, every single character is from that universe. See, when I started the channel, I said to myself, because I've been imagining cartoons in my head, full-length episodes since I was 2. And I've been doing it since then. And now I'm almost 30, and I still do it. Along that way, various characters were created and various storylines. We expanded from 2 to hundreds. And like, Plum was made in 2000, early 2000s, late 90s. And like, Kay was made when I was in middle school. Malley was made around 2005, I want to say. Deville was made in 2007. Like, they all come from that universe. It has been my biggest and my boldest and my firstest dream ever since childhood to have my animated series fully realized. Now guess what? The animated series is why I started my channel. And here's how. One of the common gags of the more slapstick style sections of the show was the clothing inflation. And so I told myself, if I ever want to animate my series, I have to master the gags in it. I have to learn how to animate. And I said, what's the easiest way to do it while having some fun? Is let's animate the gags. So I animated the inflations. And I started peppering my characters in. And it's funny, I used my C-list characters. For F's sakes, I used my D-list characters. I didn't use my main ones. The only person I used who was a big A-list character was Deville and Kay. Everyone else on the channel were characters I stopped using in the series because I was so paranoid that they would get stolen. So I said, who's somebody I don't care if they steal it? I said Plum. Forget Plum. Who cares? Malley. I don't use her. I don't use my. Like... So that's where that came from. It's my dream to finally do the series as it's been to me. Super Curly and Friends is story-driven. It was inspired by anime I grew up watching and cartoons I grew up watching. And it was story-driven. It was an action series, comedy, drama. It's been many things over the 20 years of its existence. In the early 90s, it was more kid-geared and like inspired by Tiny Toons, Goof Troop, and like just stuff I was into at the time, like Inspector Gadget. And that was reflected in it. By my teens, early teens, it was influenced by anime and had a redesign to that. And it became about like heroes versus villains and like very action oriented and like kung fu influenced. So it was influenced by like Dragon Ball Z and like Jet Li, Jackie Chan, and just my life in general, like how my real life was. It would be infused in the stories in that. By high school, my late teens, it became influenced by science fiction. And just, it became this more adult, giant world. And like, Star Wars influenced me. And it became a grown-up version of what it was in the 2000s. The characters aged up, the storylines got more serious, and I introduced my favorites, the villainesses. And by college, I dove deep into learning animation and rediscovering my roots, and I became influenced by the 1940s and the golden age of animation and classic Disney to create a female slapstick character who I think you know who the name was. In summary, it became, here's the series that has a story thread through it that is semi-serious, and here's the little shorts that is a spin-off of the series featuring a girl named Deville, which are more comedic and less grounded. I want to dive into my series. I want to finally do it. It would be my dream to finally have, let's say, episode 1 of my series, or even just little like vignettes, even little like character videos. Like, here's one that introduces this villain. Here's one where the villain's doing this. Like, I want to make this stuff. I want to dive into my notebook, because I've been writing these episodes since I was young. I want to dive into my notebook and finally make the animation that I've always wanted. So I hope to do that. I hope to have the animation be my tentpole content now. As in, like, once every few months, you will get a big animation that is representative of my series. I want to change direction to representing my series. So no more fetish animation, but yes to my series.